Hey guys, it is Mishy Beauty. I'm back again. I did receive, finally, I received my Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Let's just say it the right way, shall we? One second. Airbrush Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Here is the packaging, and I'm sure you guys have seen it already. You guys have probably already seen, let's see if this focuses. No, I'd have to zoom it in for that. You guys have probably already seen the videos flying around about this foundation, and you have probably already seen me trying on some sample product of this foundation. I did do a wear test with that foundation, but the actual tone of it, the actual shade of it, I did have to mix based on what they sent me. It was not my shade on either end of the spectrum, so I had to mix. This time I actually have what I believe to be my shade, and that shade is 12.5 neutral. And I love the frosted glass that she has here. So enough about that. Let me tell you what I've prepped my face with, because I've seen other reviews, and I know from putting the sample on that if you do not have any type of moisture to your skin, if you didn't prep it or anything like that with anything moisture based or even oil based, because I did have oil on my face. I actually, after I washed it this morning, I put oil on it, and I am going to go ahead and put a it is not a primer, but let me show you what I am going to put on my face. It is a Afterglow Primer Luminizer, and I'm going to, it is by SEPHORA. It's Beauty Amplifier. I am going to put, because I am not a matte type of person. However, I heard this formula that she has, even though they say it's full coverage matte, it does have a little bit of a, it's kind of like a demi matte, so from what I've seen anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to apply this on my face first, and this, and I'm going to go rather quickly. I'm not going to put a lot on. I'm going to do a wear test, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and come back and tell you guys what I think about the foundation. You guys saw my initial thoughts on it, but now that I have my own shade, without mixing, I want to see what happens. Does it oxidize or what have you? So let's get started right now. Okay guys, I have brought you in close. I am going to use my Sigma flat kabuki brush. I am going to first start by, I guess you could call it, priming my face. I have taken care of the skincare portion of this application first. What I did notice about this foundation is, although they do say that it has, and if you guys are interested in what I am using right now, you'll see it in the description below. But even though this claims to have skincare properties, this foundation, when you read the ingredients, there are some it's the ingredients, like chemicals, that even to me would even cancel that claim out. But I don't know enough about chemicals. I just know some of them aren't great, and I'm not going to get into all of that. But the chemicals that are listed on the back, to me, are a little concerning. Concerning to me, just because they say that it's got it's got these properties that are like skincare properties, but when I read the instructions or the ingredients, there's a lot of chemical talk on the back. So I can't, I'm not a chemist, so, but that's the only thing. This is coming from complete ignorance on chemicals and ingredients in these foundations. I've done enough of these foundation try-ons to know that I've seen worse. Okay, so I'm just gonna pump this on the back of my hand, and I'm not putting on a lot because again, I don't need full coverage. I'm gonna get a mirror. I should have been ready. This appears, now see, I'm gonna be careful with dotting it all over my face because it will dry down and I don't want to struggle with it. And there was someone that commented on one of my videos that said that I was a little rough, and I do believe them that maybe I am a little rough. So that's another thing I need to kind of be a little bit more gentle when it comes to putting on foundation with a brush, especially. Okay, so before I go to the other side, remember, I am not doing anything heavy. And maybe I am rubbing too hard, I don't know. So let's take a look at the side with Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation, and the side without. Without. This is a great color for me. It is a good color. I don't know what it's going to look like a little bit later on in the day. Now to do the other side. If I put enough over here. Sorry guys, I'm supposed to be on the other side, but I noticed I didn't come all the way. I had a little friend pop up here. Seems like it might be that foundation is just not for me. I believe that what I've put on my face is equivalent to a pump and a half maybe, or a pump. But a lot of it, when I put it on the back of my hand, and then I go in and kind of get it off my hand, some of it does get lost on my hand there. So this is probably really truly a pump of foundation. I'm just gonna add a little bit. My voice, I am getting over a cold. So this is what I am going to leave it with as far as the amount of foundation. Yeah, it's getting pretty thick to blend out now at this point, so I really do need to stop rubbing. Let me zoom out. Let's go back in. This color might, let's look at it in relation to my neck. This color might be too dark for me, and I don't wear concealer. So if this gets darker, I can honestly say that this would probably not be my shade. It's kind of hard for me to tell. Right now it just looks like it's my skin shade, a little bit darker than my skin. I don't know. It's looks like my color, but now in the winter time this would be good for me. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It looks like my shade, but then again it kind of looks darker. And so when it dries, I think it's going to get even darker. Let me go ahead and I don't want to put powder on my face because I want to see what happens with this. I'm going to stop rubbing my face. Let me get close again. I do have some rub bumps or heat bumps. So I'm gonna put a little bit more eyeshadow on and come back to you. Be right back. All right guys, I have done a subtle finish on my face. I did want to, however, try out the Charlotte Tilbury Glowgasm Beauty Wand, the high blush in Pinkgasm. I did try that out before. I'm trying it out now again. I really do like this. And I was afraid that I'd move some of the foundation around, so I just dotted it. And you guys know the wand, it looks like this. So I kind of, after I dotted it around, I kind of moved it around with my finger on each side, so you see that it's here and on up to here. So this Glowgasm, I believe, you see how this is demi-matte? It's not matte, not on me. Well, let me just say this is doing its job then, and that's what I wanted. So this Glow Amplifier, it is doing its job because I want it to look a little bit more dewy than matte. What's happening with my light? So yeah, that is what I want, and for those that aren't truly matte people, maybe this is your answer right here. And that's what I did with the Rihanna Fenty Beauty matte foundation. I did that. It was a different one, but I did that with hers as well. So I do like this look. I don't know what's happening with my light. Let me get close. It's not looking too bad as it's drying, not looking too bad against my neck as it is drying. So, on my lips, I did use the Belle in Argent. This is a clear gloss, and I mixed it with this other lip gloss by Make. So here's the colors that I mixed just for that gloss, kind of pinky gloss thing that I got going on. And I mentioned the Pinkgasm by Charlotte Tilbury for my blush highlighter combo. And then for my eyes, I put the W7 Color Me Nude. I put these two shades. I mixed this shade here and a matte shade, which is here. So So yeah, I like this brand, by the way. I haven't bought a lot of stuff from them, but I need to buy more things from them. So that's that. I'm going to wear this. Oh, and on the center of my nose, I also placed a tad of this Glowgasm on the center of my nose as well. So yeah, I think that what I put underneath this foundation did what I wanted it to do. It does not even look near like matte at all, which is what I wanted. But what I do want is the claims that it makes. So the staying powder, there I go, the staying power, it says stays all day and night. So that's what I'm looking for in this foundation. I'm looking for the smooth finish that I have on now, but I'm looking for it to not cake up, and you guys know the drill. So I'm gonna see you guys in about hopefully 4 to 5 hours. Bye. Okay guys, I am sitting in the car line to pick my daughter up. This is what it looks like about, I'd say about 15 minutes later from application. I am filming from my phone camera, but this is what it looks like. It's not too much darker than this, but again, my face, you know, gets more sun. But for right now, I'm checking in 15 minutes later, and I don't think it got too much darker. Now, I will say that you can tell up close that I do have foundation on. I'm not sure if that is going to change because I've heard other folks say it looks natural after longer time. It looks more natural, but right now, to me, it looks like I have foundation on. Especially around here, and I should have put on less, but I did want to put on a normal pump at least, or a pump and a half, to see if it started getting cakey or separating or anything like that. So it still looks good. I'm giving it a thumbs up, and we'll check back in later. All right, I am back. It is 7:15. I put this on around 2:50. So almost 5 hours I've had this on for. As you can see, remember I did put a glowy type of illuminator, shall we call it. I think that's what they call it. I put this under my makeup, and I'm being summoned again. All right, she was simply calling me because I missed my favorite commercial, which I believe it's that Domino's commercial with that forgiveness, where if you damage the pizza or the pizza gets damaged within a certain amount of time from when you pick it up, you can get it replaced. There's a commercial where this guy keeps getting his pizza damaged, and one of the scenes he's throwing a frisbee, and the guy or something, it's a frisbee thing, and instead of throwing the frisbee back, he throws his pizza. That has always cracked me up. Anyway, so here we are. This is what it looks like. There is some, here, let's just zoom in. There is some oil coming through, and remember I did use, like I was trying to say before I was interrupted, the Beauty Amplifier. I did put that underneath my skin, underneath my foundation, which made it dewy, which is what I like. So this does not bother me. This is some oils that it's peeking through there. But it's also mixing with this Glow Amplifier here by SEPHORA. I really do like this stuff, by the way. Oops, I forgot what it retailed at. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. My skin has some texture to it, and I really call these heat bumps because it's nothing really significant. But for the most part, this foundation I believe did a good job staying on. I'm not seeing any creasing here. Nothing really weird going on here. My under eye, see, I don't do concealer. Actually, I think there's a lot more chemicals that are harmful from what I read in concealers, but I really don't think I need concealers, especially if the foundation does its job of concealing as well. Every now and again I'll put concealer on, but I really don't do that because concealer can sometimes cause creasing a little bit more under the eye, and I don't like putting powder on top of concealer. I don't know, just something about that, it could get cakey after a while. But this is still the highlight here. I've been putting my hands up to my face, so I keep calling it rouge, but the blush, they used to call it rouge a long time ago. The blush has kind of wiped off a little bit, but the highlight part, the illuminating part of the blush is still around. So, but yeah, I'm not having any issues with this foundation. The only issue I have with foundations is that if they're not cruelty free, if they have some of these chemicals in it, that because you know the US doesn't regulate like Europe when it comes to what they put in makeup, it just worries me with the cancer deal. I just you know, I'm gonna try to look for more natural or organic type of foundations, whether it be powder or liquid. But this is a nice foundation. It's really pretty. I do give it a thumbs up. I did make it illuminating, a little bit dewy on purpose because I wanted it to look like that. Let's do the blot test with my blotting paper and see what comes off. Yeah, you can see. You can see the tint of the, it's not, I don't have a white tissue, but you can tell that the foundation is there. So let's go ahead and blot the rest of my face and see how this looks after I blot. So it does transfer a little bit. I am going to use another blotting paper. These blotting papers I did get in a Korean beauty box. I do want to go back to that beauty box, but it just took so long to come. Maybe there's another beauty box out there that ships from here that maybe has a warehouse in the US that it can ship from. Maybe I'll find one. All right. So yeah, it's looking really good after I blot it with the blotting paper. You can see the illuminating effect still is going on. Let's move in. So if I put powder on this, let's just so you guys can see what happens if I put any type of translucent powder on it. And I am going to go in with the Argan Wear. It's a translucent powder by Physicians Formula. You guys have seen me use this before. Let me grab a brush for this. I'm going to grab my big fluffy brush from e.l.f. just to do this. Just to see what happens here. It'll probably knock some of my illumination down. But I just want to show you guys what happens when you blot and then use translucent powder with this foundation. How it can refresh it, if it does, and what it looks like. So let's zoom in. If I can do that. Now it goes back to looking a little bit more matte, of course. The longer this is on, the more skin-like it looks. The longer this foundation stays on, the more skin-like it looks. So yeah, I am impressed with this foundation. I was also impressed with Fenty Beauty's foundation as well. The only difference is that this one does claim to have skincare type properties in it, and that is the difference that that I'm seeing from reading about them. But it really, I was impressed with Fenty when I first put it on as well, just like I am with this one. They're both matte, but this one went on a little bit more dewy. And Fenty, the second time I put it on, I mixed it with a little argan oil. So yeah, I don't like really matte because it doesn't do much for my skin. It dries it out and I get kind of bumps a little bit. So it's always good for me to do something like this or mix the foundation with a little argan oil, and it helps. But I am good with this. I am gonna still look at what is the name of that foundation? It's being sold at Sephora. I had to look at my phone. Shiseido is one. It is not, let me go ahead and put a little lip gloss on. It is not, I don't know if Shiseido is considered natural or organic. But I'm gonna read it. It is a little bit pricey, Shiseido, and that is what I wanted to try to review next. But I'm gonna read more about the claims and the ingredients and things, because I'm getting a little worried with the amount of makeup that I'm trying on for YouTube and stuff, and I'm getting a little bit worried about these ingredients that they're saying cause cancer. And even in some soaps and skincare stuff, you get parabens and stuff like that that's been linked to cancer. So with me getting up in age, I really don't want to deal with that, because some of these things like parabens, they will change they do something which changes your hormonal balance, and it can have something to do with producing more estrogen, which can lead to cancer and all of that. So I'm going to be a little bit more careful and selective going forward with the foundations I choose to review, because I don't want to just review things because the YouTube world as a whole, beauty gurus are reviewing the same makeup. I mean, I need to review things for people like me that care about chemicals and things like that, who might be up in age, who might be mothers, different things. So yes, I am interested in foundations that come out, but I think I'm gonna start being more selective. So I'm gonna do research on powder foundations and liquid foundations and cream foundations and all of that. And I do want to review Shiseido though. I don't know why I'm stuck on that. I heard a few good things about it. So, but for right now, what I reviewed today was Charlotte Tilbury, her Airbrush. Why do I keep forgetting the full name of it? Gotta get the box out. The Airbrush Flawless. I wish I had a blooper thing. The Airbrush Flawless Foundation. Again, mine is in the shade 12.5 neutral. As far as the color, you know what? I think it was the shadow right here that is making it look darker, because when I look in the mirror, it does not look, my face does not look darker like this. I think it's a shadow that the ring light has created. But again, 12.5 neutral is my shade. I think I'm gonna keep this just because I like the way this looks. And if I want to go somewhere special, this might be my go-to. But again, I am worried about the other chemicals that are in the product. So I'm gonna do more reading about Charlotte Tilbury as well. The ingredients in her products. It says a full coverage foundation with a flawless matte long-lasting finish. Apply your, okay. I thought it was gonna talk about it's made in Italy. Yeah, I thought I was going to talk about the extra stuff that it does. I can find that on the internet. Everybody already has heard it. So for right now, I'm signing off. Until next time, we will see you later. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful for you. I know you guys have already looked at tons of these reviews already on this foundation, but if you found it useful, give me a thumbs up. If you don't know who I am Mishy Beauty. You can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you'll be notified when I actually load new videos. So until next time, we'll see you later.